Imagine the story of Ariel from Disney's The Little Mermaid. The young mermaid is enchanted by the human world, but disappointed with her own life under the sea. Her dissatisfaction leads her to a drastic decision. She trades her voice to the sea witch Ursula for a chance to become human. This choice, driven by her inability to accept her life as a mermaid, pushes her into a chaotic world of challenges. Ariel's tale raises important questions. What happens when we are so dissatisfied with our reality that we lose parts of ourselves in seeking change? Can the practice of radical acceptance help us find happiness in our true nature? Today, we are exploring 3 transformative topics. What is radical acceptance? How does it boost your happiness? And 3 powerful ideas to embrace it in your life. To understand radical acceptance, let's look at the story of Malala Yousafzai. After surviving a life-threatening attack, Malala faced 2 paths: resentment or acceptance. She chose acceptance not as a defeat, but as empowerment. Radical acceptance is this very principle, embracing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. This concept, as illustrated by Malala Yousafzai's life, is more than just a coping strategy. It's about embracing life's essence in its raw, unfiltered form. It's an acknowledgement that life, in its natural state, is a complex blend of joy and pain, success and failure, control and surrender. By accepting this duality, we engage with life more holistically. If done properly, this process is transformative, enabling us to find strength in vulnerability and wisdom in adversity. It teaches us that true empowerment lies not in changing our circumstances, but in shifting our perceptions of them. In my opinion, this is one of the best methods to consciously shift your focus and energy towards meaningful actions and thoughts. If you think deep enough, it's not hard to see radical acceptance is the philosophical path to deeper happiness. It asks us to confront life's complexity, recognizing that our resistance to reality often breeds suffering. Imagine being a tree in a storm. The ones that survive are not rigid, but those that flex with the wind. Life, with its constant flux of challenges and uncertainties, demand a similar flexibility and a deep-rooted acceptance of the soil we are planted into. True happiness comes from accepting ourselves, others, and our situations just as they are. By embracing our flaws and those of others, we find freedom, a sort of serenity that transcends external conditions. In many ways, radical acceptance nurtures inner peace, allowing us to experience the full spectrum of life with peace and grace. It transforms our relationship with pain and stress, helping us to find joy and contentment in the present moment. Before we move to the next section, I would like to ask you a question. What is that in your mind that you don't want to accept, yet there is no way around it? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Now, it's time to discuss 3 powerful ideas to embrace radical acceptance in your life. Number 1 is accepting the past. Accepting the past is about understanding and acknowledging that the past events and experiences cannot be changed. This acceptance is a key aspect of emotional and psychological well-being. It involves letting go of regrets, resentments, or guilt associated with past actions or situations. When you accept your past, you recognize that every experience, both positive and negative, has contributed to who you are today. Number 2 is assess control over situations. This technique involves a realistic assessment of what aspects of a situation you can control and what you cannot. It's based on the understanding that while we can't control external events or other people's actions, we can control our reactions and attitudes towards them. For instance, you can control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it or how you let it affect your mood and plans. Number 3 is changing narratives about yourself. Changing narratives about yourself involves altering the internal dialogue and the beliefs you have about who you are. It's about shifting from negative, self-limiting thoughts to more positive, empowering ones. This change in narrative can significantly impact how you perceive yourself and your capabilities. For example, instead of thinking, I always fail when I try, you might start telling yourself, I have faced challenges before and I have learned from them. Now to conclude, radical acceptance is really about understanding what we can and cannot change. It's not about just giving up. It's about seeing that some things are out of our hands and focusing on how we react to them. Life will always have tough times, but it's how we deal with these times that really shows who we are. By mastering the art of radical acceptance, we learn that peace doesn't come from a perfect world outside, but from the unshakable calmness within your heart. This is Pranoy signing off until next Friday. Until then, just take life as it comes and find your strength in being okay with how things are.